So by now, you have 3 low budget figures in your shopping cart. 2 of them are 1x4 scales, and we are barely 1/4 of the way through for today's figure pre-order. Yeah, you guys are so screwed this week. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix, this time around 23rd to 28th of December 2024. Final week of the year. So with this week, things have gotten even hotter than last week. Hotter and more expensive. So we also have a very good pre-order week to wrap up year 2024. But meanwhile, on the third party side, not much stuff for the week. Okay, so without further ado, let's move on to Hobby Link Japan to check out the genuine figures on pre-order this week. And please do make use of my affiliate links down in the descriptions below if you want to pre-order or purchase anything. That would greatly help out this channel and it does not cost you anything. Yeah, we have way too many genuine figures this week. Like, it is like maybe the figure companies, they have once again a specific KPI that they need to meet the targets over there. So okay, let's push up everything before the year ends, and we have a lot of stuff this week. Okay, starting off with 1x4 scale. Last week we had a figure from this Tensei slime anime. This week we have another one, this time around Sha Yukata version for 33,000 yen at 1x4 scale by Free Ink, coming out in August 2025. Shuna looks a bit nicer, but you know what? I wanted to criticize Free Ink, right? Like, finally, they are giving us something that's not bunny figure. But at the same time, detail level is low, which is why I felt like criticizing. But at 33,000 yen, I hold off my criticism. Like, that is a pretty fair price, to be honest, right, for 1x4 scale. So if you like her, go ahead and pre-order it, or you can always wait until after release and then wait for the bargain bin. It might actually happen. Moving on to the next 1x4 scale, we have a low budget figure by Freya, a Chinese brand, a very new brand. Cat's Evil-Minded Mo-chan. 12,000 yen only for a maid girl with cat ears. Is there a reason not to pre-order one unless you are really broke? It feels like a no-brainer, isn't it? 12,000 yen for 1/4. And this is not going to be big in terms of the box size and shipping cost, because we have a Nearling Post figure, right? They tend to be smaller in general. Not to say the scale is smaller, but the boxes and packaging are smaller because of the smaller footprint of the figure. So this is a no-brainer. Hit the pre-order button. But we also have a second incredible 1x4 scale figure that just pre-order opened 5 minutes ago before I started recording to this video. Bunny Girl Hina 1x4 scale by Kawa Design, also a new Chinese figure brand. They have like only a couple other figures on pre-order. None of them have been released yet. This is even cheaper, 8,000 yen. I think this is the cheapest 1x4 scale figure so far, even cheaper than the Bear Panda one. The Bear Panda's Konata figure was 9,000 yen, I think. Yeah, this is 1,000 yen cheaper. I don't know how they are doing it, but this is good for everyone on the budget but still wants to collect scale figures. Here you go, pick one up. I mean, this may only be a bunny girl figure, but this is only 8,000 yen compared to Free Ink's 35,000 yen, you know? Of course, it is not going to be as good as Free Ink in terms of the finish of the paintwork, right? The surface isn't as smooth, maybe the top coat or clear coat they use to protect the figure doesn't feel as nice, not as high quality, but at a fraction of the price of Free Ink, hell yes, hit the order button. And we are just getting started. Okay, moving on to 1x5.5 scale, very specific over here. So this is the kind of thing that will make the sirens turn on. Like, FBI would be knocking on your door. But you know what? It is not even about customs department stopping me from importing something like this anymore. It is more about my own wallet, my own pocket, you know? Like, if I had spare cash lying around, yes, I want one. Just because the more illegal something is, the more exciting it feels to own one, you know? But yeah, all these Nikke, FGO, Blue Archive stuff are draining my wallet dry. Otherwise, I would buy it. just because why not? So this is a re-release. Kokuten Ta is very famous now. I think there are like 3 or 4 different figures of her. All of them are edgy figures. And I think every single one of them were by Orchid Seed, or now known as Tuberosa Plus over here. And obviously this one is popular enough to get a re-release. 19,000 yen only, and you get 3 face plates. Yes. Hit the pre-order button as long your country allows you to import it, or you have a way of getting it in. Yeah, I heard that stuff like this would land you in jail, like in Canada, in Australia as well. My country, I think there is a way to get them in. Of course, it is very questionable, but there are ways to get it in. I'll leave it to you to figure it out. No, on YouTube, we are not supposed to teach things. Teach illegal things to people. Like, teach them how to do it. It can get you demonetized. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is also a re-release by Orchid Seed or Tuberosa Plus. 1x6 Kill Sailor Succubus Sapphire Comic Unreal Volume 23 cover. Okay, this is a very old figure. I think this was from 8 or 10 years ago. Very old. But this was also very popular back then, that I'm not too surprised that she is getting re-released now. But why re-released today? Like, why on Christmas week? Maybe because they felt like it. Once again, KPI. Yeah, so this one going for 15,300 yen is a big value proposition, a bargain, yes. So as long as you like the character design, go ahead and pre-order it. Not my kind of thing, you know, but it is worth it. And this is like a soft core edgy figure. I think can remove the top but not the bottom. Yeah, Orchid Seed figures are mostly like that. And their quality, Orchid Seed, Tuberosa Plus, no complaints. I have their Sonico figures, 3 or 4 of them, and I'm happy with them. Moving on to the next one over here, 1x6 scale, we have Satori Komeiji from Toho Project. This is by Magi Arts, an upcoming and rising Chinese figure brand. 24,500 yen for the deluxe version, where you get an extra faceplate, as you can see in this preview pic over here. Standard version does not have it for 23,000 yen. Of course, I have FOMO. I will tell you to get the full package, the deluxe one, because that is what I want. I don't like the feeling of knowing that something is missing from inside the box. FOMO once again. But there are also people out there, you know, where they tell me, I don't feel like, you know, checking out every single figure I have and swapping out the parts every 2 to 3 months just to get a fresher feel of looking at something different. I don't like the thought of having so many extra parts lying around being unused, no? There are so many things to pay attention to. Some people don't like that. And I can understand, because when you have too much extra accessories lying around, it can be really difficult to monitor them. Like, did you lose any? So for those kind of people who don't want to think too much, you can go for the default version, where this is not a bad choice, because the default one, you're getting actually the wing faceplate, which is excellent. And that would be also the one I would prefer to display this figure with. So default or regular version is not necessarily a bad buy at all. Magi Arts, you know what? The figures that released in year 2024 are not that interesting to me, maybe except for an office girl doing some leg stretching. That was really nice. But most of their releases that are coming soon in year 25, they are quite outstanding. I'm looking forward to see what they look like. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, over here we have another budget scale figure by a brand I've never heard of, Ouya. Must be a branch of an existing Chinese figure brand. I need to find it out, right? So we have 1x6 scale gap glasses girl who doesn't want to take physical education class. Yeah, I can see why. I mean, she is so fit. She is fit AF. Why does she need PE class? She would be doing naughty things in the classroom instead. One of my favorite themes in H anime. Yeah, doing all kind of things with JKs in the classroom. So this is a 10 out of 10 body sculpt. 10 out of 10 figure. Oh, and her backside gets even better. The sculpting department, I mean. So by now, you have 3 low budget figures in your shopping cart. 2 of them are 1x4 scales, and we are barely 1/4 of the way through for today's figure pre-order. Yeah, you guys are so screwed this week. Same as last week, I suppose, but this week is even worse, I would say. Yeah, this is very good. Moving up next, we have our very first scale figure of Momo from Dan at 1/7 scale by Furio, 21,000 yen, coming out in October 2025. We had a technical low budget figure of her like a couple of weeks ago, which is also Furio. But this is her proper scale figure, and I'm not too surprised by Furio being the first. Currently, it feels like Furio's strategy is very similar to Kotobukiya, where they go for popular anime characters, yeah, and they try not to charge too much. I mean, this for 21k feels okay. Could be lower. I'm just being cheapskate as usual. Anyways, detail levels are kind of low because this is just a JK figure in the end, right? Yeah, just a JK figure with this effect part over here, which looks nicely painted. This would be perfect if she was 18,000 yen. Yeah, just 10-15% cheaper. Okay, the second one over here from Dan Seiko by Furio as well, 21,000 yen, October release as well. Okay, this one, I'm not sure if it is because of her hairstyle and also hair color. This feels like looking at a very modernized grandma or, yeah, Obasan of some kind. Looks like grandma to me. 21k as well, coming out in October. Okay, for a moment, I thought that was an umbrella. It isn't. If that was an umbrella, it would feel even more Obasan. Like, you know, they whack people with, with umbrellas or... Yeah, I think you can imagine that if you are an Asian. The third one here, Nito Y. I have no idea who is this. Feels like another VTuber or... Yeah, that kind of character, online celebrity character being made into a figure. That is what it feels like to me, judging my character design. 20,000 yen only, coming out in November 2025. Judging by the dollar sign on the apron, I feel like I'm looking at a gold digger version of, say, Shonagon from FGO. But this is a very nice character design regardless, and the base is quite compact and small. Man, this is Sei Shonagon, man. I like her outfit design a lot. Okay, so Furio. What can I say, right? Like this year, they have gotten a little bit better compared to previous year. You know, I like to complain about how their figures don't look like what was being promised in their product pictures. I mean, they look like a cheaper version. This year, I mean, the releases I've seen from them, they looked a little bit better. So that is a good thing, but they are still a B-tier figure company to me, which feels kind of odd because they are doing great job with their price figures and to a certain extent Tenitals as well. So why can't they get their scale figures done even better? I'm certain they can. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah. But for the past 6 or 8 months, they are better than the previous year, just to let you guys know. Moving on to the next one, now we shall look at the super expensive stuff for the past week. The first one here, we have Yamashiro Kaini from Kantai Collection by Cyber Agent, which one of you told me is the new name for Eastream and Shibuya Scramble figure. Thanks for that. I have no idea why they changed their name. I think Eastream and Shibuya Scramble figure is such an iconic name. Whenever you mention it, everyone will know this is a premium figure brand. They have already established a pretty decent reputation with the brand name. Why change it now? Cyber Agent sounds like some .g company that recruits JKs to become an underground idol. Something like that. Yeah, Cyber Agent, you know. Does not sound like a figure company name. Sounds like a... I don't know, sounds like some secret spy company that does work for the government. Anyways, 45k, can you justify it or not? I would love to hear your opinion. On one hand, I can understand that the water effect base, which looks like a slime instead, the water effect base there and all of the ship parts will cost a lot of money. I understand that. But I'm not sure if 45,000 yen is considered overpriced or just right for something this complex. Yeah, I just can't decide myself. So Kantai Collection is getting a second lease of life somehow. Why suddenly figures from Kantai Collection? I thought it is pretty dead by now, right? But there is a very loyal fan base. So who knows? Okay, the second one here we have Fusokai Ni. Same thing, 45,000 yen, and coming out in January, that is 2026 by the way. I like this one a little bit more simply because of the pose, and this time around I understand the need for that metal rod over there. Yeah, that thing looks really heavy. I mean, if you look at Gundam model kits with a huge backpack, same thing. They have a stand that goes into the crotch region or the backpack, right? Same thing. So weight distribution is an issue. They look great though. I just can't get over how terrible the water effect part looks. But most companies, they can't get it right anyway, you know. H-Stream and Shubha Scramble figure, like I said, their figures are top tier. They are at least A tier. I would have ranked them as S tier, if not for their occasional QC issues. Not common, but occasionally it does happen. I think the most famous one was their Shiro from No Game No Life. And despite the QC issues involving that figure, which was like a couple of years ago by now, the value went up to 80,000 yen anyway. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Wow! Alice Glint is giving us a second figure of Rio Leon, level 6 version from Danmachi. You know how frustrated I was when episode 12 of Danmachi season 5 was delayed indefinitely. Not for 1 week, but indefinitely. Man, this feels like 86 all over again. To me, Rio Leon is not real until she lets her hair down. I like her short hair, man. So there are some points being deducted over here for me when she is tying a ponytail like that. But overall, this is still a very attractive figure that I would love to own, you know. I'm a big fan of Danmachi. Since season 1, I was a fan of her. It is not a recent thing. And this is a big price jump because the first Rio Leon figure from Alice Glint as well was like 22,000 yen. This is a whole 5,000 yen jump. But with this brand Alice Glint, I don't have much complaints about their quality control. They are fine. And with that effect part and the base over there, I think if this was 23 or 24k, it would be perfect. Yeah, 27 feels a little bit high. And no, when Danmachi season 1 aired back then, that was back in the mid 2010s, I think. Everyone was spamming Hestia skill figures. By today, nobody are re-releasing them, and instead we have Alice Glint giving us 2 Rio Leon figures so far. That is a very interesting change of events. I think Kotobukiya gave us a figure of Wallen, what is it? Yeah, that was quite a number of years ago and very expensive now. Anyways, I still like Rio Leon the best. So this gets a big thumbs up from me. Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh, yes! I think I should be pre-ordering this after I'm done recording to this video. As usual, I was hesitating a bit, you know. I don't buy stuff impulsively. I usually give myself at least a few days to think. But we have such a highly detailed Mordonia figure. Like, look at the outfit, the mecha parts. This is totally my kind of thing. I don't even care anymore if the pose is a little bit bland because they're based on the official artwork. Fine. 24, 364. Part of me wants to wait for a bargain bin. Another part of me wants it immediately that I don't mind pre-ordering it early. Conflicted feeling. So Nikke is in a way, is making me want more of their figures compared to Blue Archive. Yeah, I'll be pre-ordering this, I think. So, coming from Good Smile Company, yeah, I'm fairly confident in them. I would hit the pre-order button without thinking twice. And for me, personally, this is my figure of the week, not that Azur Lane figure that has half of her butt exposed. No, not that. That is an Ami exclusive later. This is my favorite figure this week. Yeah. Moving up next, we have Nekopara Vanilla Dreamy Cute China version by Clay Nell, formerly known as Revolve, 23,000 yen, and also Of course, Chocola, they are meant to be a set apparel. So 23,000 yen each is very reasonable considering the whole package, and yeah, the figure is kind of floating in a way over here. We have a nice base, right? So this is a very reasonable price, but if I were to get something that is very cute looking and very colorful like this, there is another pair of Claynel figures that I would prefer personally. Yes, Fate Scarlet, Prisma, Ilya and Kuro, they have a pair of figures that are very similar to this pair already released, by the way. I like it so much, except I'm feeling very poor at the moment. There are too many things to buy and not enough money for it. Man, we had so many Nekopara figures already, but there can never be enough. And can I recommend Claynel? Yes. Now, Revolve, like 10 years ago, they have been around for a long time. They were just very average, and recently, in the recent few years, especially since the rebranding into Claynel, they have been doing excellent work with their figures. So yes, this comes as recommended. Moving on to the next one from Solar Rain, another rising Chinese figure brand that you should pay attention to because they're making great stuff. We have Gridman Universe. This is the Dreamy Divas set. Set of 3 for almost 60,000 yen. This is excellent value. 20k each. Less than that, actually. Okay, so are we getting the free stuff? Okay, you're only getting these prints, I think, not the plushies. Yeah. For me, I don't collect plushies, but I know some people love them a lot. This is incredible. So, why should you get only either one instead of buying a set of 3, right? There is a reason, actually. So if you are a plushie collector, you could get these that cost 23,000 yen each almost. Yeah, like this Yume Minami over here, second from the left. This includes a plushie for an additional 2,800 yen or so. So you buy 3 of them, that would be like 68,000 yen, a little bit more expensive. But if you want the plushies, it is worth it. Yeah. So there are so many variations over here. You can go and check them out yourself. Alright, moving on to the next one over here from Arknights. We have Golden Glow Maiden for the Bright Night version by Apex Toys. 28,000 yen, releasing in January 2026. So this is obviously a Christmas figure, except they are going to make you miss out December 2025 Christmas by releasing it in January next year. So you buy this, she comes out in January, you get it in February or March, and then you wait until December before celebrating Christmas with her. Man, this is so nice. Oh, alright. She's a dog. I have never been a big fan of festive season anime figures, be it Chinese New Year version or Christmas version or what. Anyways, never been a fan of them, but no, the amount of details on this thing makes me want it so badly. And 28k is pretty pricey, but I think can see the reason why, in short, right? This thing is so detailed, man. I told you guys, this is an excellent week for anime figures, for better or worse, I mean. You'll be spoiled for choice and you have so many stuff in your shopping cart that you better start planning budget 2026. The next one here, 1x7 scale, the Demon Girl Next Door, Season 2. I'm actually surprised that this anime series is getting scale figures at all. Yeah. Machikado Mazoku, is it? I think so. There was a pair of figures already. I can't remember which brand. Yeah, there were I think Union Creative, I can't remember. This is their second set of scale figures over here by Medicos Entertainment. We have Yuko Wedding version at 21,000 yen, and also Momo Chiyoda Wedding version, same price, releasing in September 2025. No, this anime never even came into my radar. Like, should I actually try watching it? Does not interest me that much. Okay, Medicos Entertainment, I think I remember them best for, the Black Lagoon figures. They hold an exclusive license on from the looks of it, yeah, because they are the only ones making figures from Black Lagoon, and their Black Lagoon figures were fine, right? Though Medicos Entertainment is not exactly the most consistent figure brand in terms of painting, so that is one thing you need to know. 21k each is reasonable though. Moving on to the next one here. So how many figures do you have in your cart now? 7? 8? Blue Archive. And I want this so badly as well. We have a bit of everything this week. Okay, Kaho Memorial Lobby version by Any Gift, which is a branch of Any Game in case you did not know. And also Vibrasta. Vibrasta is their ecchi figure division. So Any Game, Any Gift, they make excellent figures. Any Game figures are 1x6 mostly. This is a 1x7, 25,000 yen, December 2025 release. Hell yeah, baby. The base and the cupboard over there. Pretty much the whole package for 25,000 yen. This is good value. Oh god. How many? I don't want to think too much at the moment, okay? Okay. Moving on to the next one. Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, we have Kanade Hayami. Pretty Liar version by Wave Corporation, 27,000 yen, June release. Okay, this one feels a tad bit overpriced to me. Simply because Alter released their version a few years ago. So they had the advantage of pricing, right? The pricing in yen is lower. And secondly, that one was even re-released once, and I almost purchased that one. And the only reason why I do not have that Hayami Kanade figure by today from Alter is because number one, I did pre-order it, and during release I cancelled the pre-order because Nippon Yasan closing. You know what happened to Nippon Yasan? So I pre-ordered her on Nippon Yasan, and then basically they did not have the stock, but they are collecting money from people, and then I cancelled the pre-order and filed a chargeback claim with PayPal. I got my money back. But since then, I lost interest in the figure and I don't collect Idolmaster anymore, so here we are today. And the outer version is like 21 or 22k. I don't know if the value has gone up by now. That one was re-released once. But overall, this at 27,000 yen feels pretty pricey, isn't it? I mean, you got to compare directly with the figure I just covered. This one has so much more to offer for 25,000 yen. Yeah, so this feels pretty overpriced to me. Though Wave Corporation as a figure brand is an okay figure brand, I've never seen much QC issues from them. So if you insist, get one. Otherwise, maybe hunt for the outer version. Moving on to the next one from Fire Emblem with Edelgard by Intelligent Systems. Yeah, this is like the only brand making figures of Fire Emblem. 29,000 yen, almost January release 2026. Yep. I'm not sure what to say. Definitely not my favorite Fire Emblem character design. That's for sure. At the same time, no, I think it is the lack of details that is feeling a little bit off-putting, because if you show me a Fate Grand Order character that is wearing this much armor, usually there are a lot of shading around, and then I look at this figure, it is like the whole thing is red color. There is some mild shading, there is some of it, but I think the design language is not that detailed to begin with, so I was like looking at this thing and asking myself why this thing is 29k, but yeah, Intelligent Systems has a monopoly on the IP of Fire Emblem when it comes to figures, and I would say they can justify the price of this figure judging by the base and that staff she's holding. Is that a staff or an axe? I'm not sure. I don't play the game, by the way. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have Azur Lane. A bit of everything this week. Yeah, except FGO. Freeing 1x7. That is rare. We have Azur Lane Project Identity. TB Quiet. So is this a quiet version of tuberculosis or something? 24k coming out in August 2025. The variety of Azur Lane characters is so vast that nowadays I'm not sure if I'm looking at an Azur Lane character anymore if nobody tells me it is one, Like, this is not even a ship girl, at least the way the character is being designed with this figure. Okay, so this is an opportunity for me to ask you guys a question. Do you collect anime figures of characters that do not have human skin color, which means other than our normal skin color and including the tanned versions and even black color, for example, right? Do collect anime figures of characters with green color skin or basically no skin color like this one over here. Let me know in the comments below. I believe it is an acquired taste. Some people like them, some not so much. For me, I would say the only character that has barely any human skin color that I kind of like is Black Rock Shooter. Like, she is almost pale white, but her skin color is almost human skin at the same time, depending on... Yeah, you get the points over here. But if you were to ask me, will I get a figure of an anime character with a green color skin like the Hulk? I'm not so sure. I would give an exception to characters from FGO, but other than that, I don't think so. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Amatsuka Uto. No idea who she is. 1/7 skill by Fuvio, 18,000 yen. Feels like another VTuber character to me. Yeah. Now, this is good pricing, 18k. And even if the figure turns out a little bit average, I can still accept it. Though I don't see Fuvio screwing up this figure unless we're talking about the face. I don't think Fuvio messes up the face of their figures. Usually it is the paintwork, but the detail level on this figure is quite simple, right? No fine details, so she should look fine in the final product. This is quite a safe pre-order. Moving up next from Q skill, we have 4 Slender Hex at 1/7 skill, 25,000 yen, almost, November 2025 release. And I have always been a fan of the character designs of this 4 Slender series. No post-apocalyptic cyberpunk vibe. A little bit of Arknights setting over there, something like that. Or my personal favorite among many AAA title Western games, Crisis. Yeah, I love Crisis, by the way. So this feels like a character I would see in those kind of post-apocalyptic setting, right? But at the same time, this feels a little bit different from the rest, made by Wing Company and also Mietos, in the sense that she is very cheery, very cheerful looking. I think every other 4 Slender figure, they look kind of, depressed in a way, grumpy face, not smiling, stuff like that. But I like this one a lot. And what is up with that golden ball of steel? Is that a weapon? Like, how to use that? Anyways, QSQ is an excellent figure brand that I can always recommend. Just that a lot of 4 Slender figures, they bargain bin after release. Both the Mietos one and the Wing Company one, or Wing Incorporated. So, maybe not pre-order too early and wait until after release. I think which brand is making the figure makes no difference. Yeah. It is always the character and the title the character comes from that dictates most of the value, resale value, I mean. However, I just can't stop staring at this picture. Not because she has a nice backside, but because of the detail, yeah, on her bodysuit and the armor on the knee. Man, I'm trying to avoid 4 Slender figures regardless of how much I like them, because once I buy one, I will start wanting the rest of the set, which is bad news, so many of them. The second Kyosuke figure over here, this is a re-release. Okay, we have Roxy Mig change of clothes mode. This is okay. It is an okay purchase at 22,000 yen. Just that, looking at the figure from the front, I can barely see her pantsu, which is like her most important asset. Yeah, dude was collecting her pantsu and hiding it in the treasure box, right? So that is her most important part, but I couldn't see it from the front. Is this the best Roxy Migadia figure? Probably not. Think maybe in top 3 or even top 5. Not the best one, but not a bad buy overall. Okay, moving on to the next one. We did not have any FGO figures this week, but we do have something from Tsukihime at least, right? Steel type moon. Okay, this is our quick Brunestad Inner Sea of the Planets by Max Factory. This is like the same exact figure Aniplex is making, isn't it? And almost the same price as well. I think Aniplex was 27k or 30k, almost the same price. Okay, January 2026 release. Will I get one? Maybe. Maybe. So far, I haven't purchased a single Tsukihime figures, even though I vowed to collect them. Even though it is not FGO, but it is still Type Moon and I love Type Moon stuff. We'll see. What is her name again? That girl with that long sword. What's her name again? Good Smile made a scale figure of her earlier this year. I think April release. That one is a bit rare now. I'm starting to regret not purchasing her earlier, but I'll just look around in China. So will I pre-order this? Probably not. Will it be a bad idea not to? Yeah, it might be a bad idea. I might regret it. We will see. How many figures alone today or this week that are releasing in January 2026 or December 2025? At least 5 or 6 of them, right? Yeah. So imagine reordering every single one of them. Yeah, that is bad news. So this is rough. I want it really badly. Okay, moving on to the next one. The last 2 figures are budget figures. First one here, Ana Yanami from Arcane. I love that she is getting so much justice in a short period of time. Right after the anime finished airing, there are like at least 3 figures of her by now. So this is a Tenito tall, a bit like Pop-Up Parade L, I think, a bigger than usual figure for their budget line. And yes, grab it. Just under 10,000 yen, grab it. I like her a lot. Despite her flaws as a character, I like her. And the last figure on HLJ this week, we have Arthur Pencil Gone. In case you did not watch Shangri-La Frontier, yeah, this is supposed to be a stupid name version of Arthur Pendragon. But anyways, Pop-Up Parade, 5,000 yen, coming out in July. I'm not sure if she will lean over time because she is standing on a single leg, and this is a low budget figure, you know, no metal foot pegs, no metal reinforcements inside the leg or anything like that, but the figure is leaning to one side. I'm not sure if this will last for several years without leaning. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned over here. At least this one looks better than every single price figure of her so far. Yeah. Okay, now our next stop would be Ami. Okay, the first one here, this is an Ami exclusive. We have Aelin Glorious Chinese New Year version. I'm not sure if there are anyone who wears like this to celebrate Chinese New Year, but anyway, this is 30,600 yen by Outer, coming out in January 2026. Yeah, let's hope they don't delay it because that is cutting it pretty close for Chinese New Year for the following year. Of course, you're getting this for that glorious backside, isn't it? Which I couldn't put on screen, unfortunately, because YouTube has their rules. Azur collectors are eating good. Too good, in fact. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, we have Uma Musume Pretty Derby Daiwa Scarlet. From Fat Company, almost 30,000 yen. So the price just went up another 10%. No, the Ami exclusive Uma Musume figures released, or no, the ones that went on pre-order this year, every single one of them were 27,000 yen. So here we have another 10% price increase. Yeah. You know what? I really want to get one of these to review them, if I have to be honest, because the detail level on this is so incredible. But my faith in Fat Company is so low after going through a few of the reviews of the figures that were released in the recent few months. Like, they have gotten a little bit better, their most recent releases, but not 30,000 yen level good. Yeah. I just couldn't stop staring at her dress. This is very nice. Okay, I'm moving on to the next one. This is not an exclusive, but Spiritual figures, they appear later on HLJ, maybe next week, right? So we have Marin Kitagawa Swimwear version coming out in September 2025 for 25,000 yen. I still prefer the Aniplex version a little bit more. And it is all down to pose. This feels like Marin Kitagawa getting ready to receive the winner, you know? I mean, the way her legs are open, but she has never been a lady to begin with. Like, she's a little bit tomboy, that's what I mean, right? So having her sitting with her legs open like that is not unexpected from her. But that is also the reason why I feel like the Aniplex version is a little bit more refined. But with Spiritual, we'll get her in 1x6, not 1x7. So this is not a bad pre-order at all. And Good Smalls version is starting to look like the worst the worst Marin Kitagawa figure out there for being the simplest and the lowest detailed version of all, though I understand that they are going for the lower price bracket, and I'm referring to the one in bikini, of course, where she has a ponytail, right? Not the Neo cosplay version. Every figure brands are rushing out scale figures of her because season 2 is starting in year 2025. Moving on to the next one, we have Rise Up 10th swimsuit version by Fats Company. This is an Army exclusive as well. Yup. 25k releasing in October 2025. So there are no tight belts squishing her thighs. This not that big of a fan. The great thing about Ryza is that there are so many figures of her, right? You're spoiled for choice. And it is not like the ones released a year or two ago are exactly that rare either. You can find them on Mandarake easily if you are hunting for older releases. Yeah. So with this one, this is like the third, the fourth Ryza figure in your collection. This shouldn't be your first one. Okay, moving on to the next one. I need to apologize in advance because you are going to listen to a long rant from me regarding Amakuni and their To Love Through Darkness series of figures, right? So with this line of figures by Amakuni specifically, I only have one figure, which is Momo Bilia de Veluke, because she is waifu material. How many characters are there? We have Lala, we have we have Nemesis. Yep, Nemesis was one of the first to come out. Yami is already out as well. In short, overall are there like 5 or 6 figures, including this Mikan, which is coming out this coming August in 2025. So over the course of, I don't know, 6 or 8 years, they have released one figure every 2 to 3 years, and they are only halfway through. There are like 10 or 12 characters from this Harem Gold series. Are they going to wait until year 2050 to finish the whole set? I have no idea at this point. Yeah, so I don't really remember which year it is, but it feels like around year 2020 to 2022, right? There was a big gap of 3 years where they released a Lala figure and then they wait another 2 or 3 years before they release the next one. So at this rate, yeah, maybe by the time they complete the whole set, year 2040, 2050, I don't know. And because of this, right, I've been so frustrated as a fan of To Love Through Darkness, and I just gave up collecting the series because I just never know whether the companies behind these figures and these characters, they will ever complete the set. They are taking decades, man, to finish it. Max Factory made almost every character only to omit Yami at the end, one last character. I was so mad I sold off my entire Bright figure series that, yeah, the ones that are at 1/6 skill by Max Factory. Almost there, and they stopped right there. And now I see Amakuni releasing a figure every 2 years, every 3 years. No, I'm not touching them. I just buy my waifu and I just move on. Yeah. So this is under 20,000 yen. Could be cheaper because of how simple the figure is. But with Mikan, one of the more popular Imoto characters out there in the world of anime and manga, can see this one selling quite well. Maybe if you are the kind who only buy figures of your favorite character, you won't be bothered by this. But you know, To Love Through was my first ecchi anime. Like when I was an ecchi anime virgin when I was a high school kid. Literally, the first ecchi anime that I watched because my friend recommended to me was To Love Through, and I loved it so much. Right? I think it was funny, it was entertaining, and the characters are... Character designs, I like it a lot, despite the simplicity. So until today, I'm still a big fan of them, but I just couldn't bring myself to collect them anymore. Yeah. Moving up next, oh, another Fantasy Star figure. Alright, this is Genie, or is it Jean? Genie, I think. Chaos version, or Suntent version. 1/7 skill by Amakuni, 26,000 yen, coming out in September 2025. I actually like this Suntent version quite a bit more. If I pre-ordered the normal version, I think I would have a little bit of regret over here. Granted, 26,000 yen for a swimsuit figure is pretty expensive, but man, this is a very nice swimsuit figure, man. Amakuni, just like Outer, their KOC is going down the drain lately. Well, going down the drain is a bit much, but what I'm saying is that not as good as the previous 12 months. Like their QC control in year 24 is not as good as back in year 23. I wouldn't hit the panic button yet, but that is one thing you need to know. Moving up next, we have Kobayashi M Dragon, Toru Cow Pattern Bikini. Man, every week we have cow bikini. This time around, it is Toru, under 20,000 yen as well by Amakuni, releasing in August 2025. For some reason, Amakuni figures are not available in HLJ. Has never been, yeah. Probably because of the Hobby Japan exclusive. Yeah. That exclusive thing, right? So not every figure store are able to get their hands on the merch, on the stock, I mean. So Toru has always been a little bit weird to me when it comes to her body proportions, but I think every anime character in this Kobayashi Dragon series is a little bit weird in one way or another. In the case of Toru, we have huge melons on her chest, but her legs, her thighs are so skinny. Like, the body fat distribution is a little bit weird. Yeah. Should you get it? Yes. I mean, it is Amakuni. I would still vouch for them regardless. Go and get it. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have Reos Rise Up Plus. Okay, so we have Reos Rise Up. They are budget figures that competes with pop-up rate for about 6,000 yen. And then this is Rise Up Plus, which is a little bit bigger, I think. Okay, Chibi Cat series Jing Yuan. Oh, this is from Honkai Star Rail. I almost couldn't recognize her. 10,000 yen, releasing in September 2025. What is the height? 20 centimeters, not bad at all. 1/8 scale, basically. Is this Jing Yuan? Lolly version, I think. I couldn't recognize her. Should you get it? Big yes. Okay, with Reos, maybe this figure will appear in HLJ next week, in case you want to get it over there. Moving on to the next one, the last 3 figures, they are ecchi figures in the major section of Ami Ami. First one here, Santa Girl Vaa illustration by KK Matsu. Just under 18,000 yen after a small discount by Omaha, an ecchi Chinese figure brand. Yeah, I have no idea how a Chinese figure brand is able to make ecchi stuff. Maybe because they're claiming they only sell internationally to overseas customers, I don't know. For the case of Party Look, right? Yeah, they have Otherwear and Party Look. One brand is specific to China only. They remove the ecchi parts. And then the other one would be the international version. I think Party Look is the international version where I get the ecchi stuff. But Omaha does not have 2 branches like that. So I'm not sure how they are doing it. So this is quite cheap. 18k. And she is fully customable. Both top and bottom, which I think you're getting extra parts to swap out. You can't cast off a bikini like that, making the 18,000 yen a big bargain, right? You're getting like 1.5 figures in the box, not 1 figure only. Perfect for celebrating Christmas a year later, with room to spare, releasing in October. So if they delay 1 month, they'll still make it in time, unless you ship by sea. Then yeah, good luck waiting 2 or 3 months for it. Okay, moving on to the next one. Mafuyu Leo, 1/6 scale by Pink Charm. I know 27,000 yen for a black bikini figure is so expensive, right? It is so overpriced. You're getting almost 2 entire figures over here. This is fully customable. I hope that they give us 2 heads, like 2 entire figures in fact, making the 27k a great value, but I don't see a Japanese figure company doing that. Like, they are not as generous. Anyways, you're getting an entire torso to swap out if you want to display her Hadaka. Who doesn't want to display a lolly Hadaka? Pink Charm is one of the top tier ecchi figure brands, very consistent, so pick one up if you like her. And the last figure on Ami Ami this week, wow, Bakunyu Party and TR. Yeah, I watched this already, the anime adaptation at least. Arika 1/6 scale by Nocturne, also one of the top tier ecchi figure brands out there. 33k is worth it. You know what? I don't like to NTR fat people, but I still want the figure somehow. 3 faceplates, man, and you have the Ahega faceplate with the tongue sticking out, and all these loot faceplates that I really wish to have on a few of my figures. Can we have a figure of a character with a more normal body proportion, but with the same face expressions? I would buy it, you know. There's no way this would make it past the customs in my country. Yeah, you need some sort of special channel to import them. And moving on to our last stop, Ninin game to check out Forge Japan and be full staff. Inside staff, only 4 figures this week. The first one here, GYK Hyoko Tencho Yunbu M illustration, 1x5. Nice. 22,200 yen, releasing in... Where's the release date? July. I was about to ask, is this a boy in disguise? I mean, no. Obvious bumps on her chest. And this is not customable. This is all you get, right? Forge Japan, they make safe for work figures. Yeah, their edgy branch insides are the ones making the cultured figures. The first one here, the neighbor lady, is an exhibitionist Kanae. 1x6 scale, 20k, and that is only one. Like, no 1x4 scale, a little bit weird. If you want that 1x4, better double check. I couldn't find a 1x4 earlier. Maybe they haven't listed it yet. I don't know. Usually there are 2 versions. And that is the case with this one over here. Rinka Shiraishi Hadaka version. 1.6 at 20k and 1.4 at 30k. Yeah. Just no completely Hadaka, no clothes at all. So I'm not a fan of it. Like, it feels no different from buying a BJD doll, without any clothes on, so I'm not feeling it. Yeah, and that is all for the genuine figures on pre-order this week. Moving on to third-party resin figures, making use of OSGK, which is this channel's affiliate partner for third-party resin figures. Something caught my attention over there. Original soup dumpling. Okay. Okay. Anyways, not many figures this week. Let's move on to Anya's. 3 of them. This week, Kawaii Studio, Anya Forger, Sakura Kimono. Okay. So this is $97, releasing in June 2025. Height 18 cm. Okay, so this one feels a little bit reasonable when it comes to Anya Forger figures being priced at $100 all the time. Every week we get those Anya figures. This one feels reasonable because of the plant, the tree over here at the base, and the whole thing being 18 cm is not bad for a resin figure. The second one here, we have Happy New Year version. So this is coming out in June, right? For $97. And oh, I see. We are celebrating Happy New Year by placing the pre-order, not by getting the figure. Chinese New Year version, that's what they mean over here. Very interesting. They have this lion outfit. So many Anyas every week. And here we have another one, the third one. Wealth God Anya Forger. Yeah. You know what? Chinese people are so obsessed with money that whenever we celebrate Chinese New Year, we literally pray to the god of money, the god of wealth. We call it Chai Shen Ye. Yeah. And do you know what? Whenever we visit our relatives or friends, do you know what we greet them with? Gong Xi Fa Chai, which means congratulations for getting rich. Yeah, we Chinese people love our money. Okay, so this one is Wealth God version, $113. I'm not sure if I like it. It is creative nonetheless. Yeah, this one is by Wawa Studio, coming out in June 2025 as well. Moving on, next we have a One Piece Nami figure from Wanxiang Studio. No price, no release date yet. Early but pre-order, and she looks okay, her typical outfit, nothing too special over here. If this is a 1x6, 1x4 scale, height range 70 to 90 cm, wow. This has to be a 1x4 or even a 1x3. So I'm predicting $400, 400 to 500. I don't think she will hit 500 because One Piece figures tend to be cheaper somehow compared to characters from other anime or games. I have no idea why, but that is always the case with resin figures. You'll see One Piece and 1x4 or 1x6, their pricing tend to be lower. Moving on to the next one, we have a licensed resin figure, Dragon Ball Collection statue by Unlimited Studio. Okay, so we have blue hair version, blonde. Oh, okay, different characters. $381 for this one. Okay, this is a big figure, 51 to 69 cm. Let me see the dimensions. Yeah, about 50 centimeters. Oh, this is a 1/6 scale, but because of the base and everything, the diorama behind her, that's why she is big. Alright, so this is $381, and then this blonde hair version over here, which I like a lot more. This is $425. Yeah, I always end up liking the expensive stuff. And then can get a set of two for $778. I know that is a lot of money, but once again, this is a licensed figure, and resin, it is expensive material, right? Okay, moving on to the next one, another licensed figure from Sailor Moon. Usagi Tsukino and Mamoru Chiba 1/6 scale set, $710 by Lightyear Studio, releasing in December 2025. Yeah, this would be very attractive to fans of Sailor Moon. I rarely see stuff like this, like where they include the dude, you know? $710, that would be like $360. Okay, let's make it $340, $350 each, and that is not yet factoring in the base. Reasonable, I would say. Yeah, and okay, 1 year wait, December release. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is one of my favorite resin figures this week. By AF Studio, we have Rei Anime on a bike for only $250, and this is a 1/6 scale, quite big. For $250, this is an absolute bargain in my opinion. Wow. No complaints about her face as well. I normally prefer Rei Anime with short hair, but I certainly am not complaining if I'm getting everything over here for $250, you know? This is one of the best pre-orders this week. And even though I know nothing about AF Studio, you can compare Evangelion to One Piece or Dragon Ball, for example, which means the third parties, they are very experienced with characters from this series. They rarely screw up, so this might be a very good pre-order. I wouldn't worry about the brand not being well known at the moment. Okay, moving on to the next one. Licensed PVC figure. She is real. This series is under Bear Panda, I think. So this figure might go on pre-order on Ami, HLJ, and everywhere else next week. Okay, now full 1/6 scale real stockings and temperature sensitive color changing realistic PVC figure. Wow. So the figure actually changes color depending on temperature. $77. How are they doing this? Is it the paint? Like the paint is temperature sensitive. And what color does she change into? No mention. Am I misunderstanding something over here? Sometimes, when you translate from Chinese to English, there are certain things that can be lost in translation. Like, there's something included in the box. Yeah, like some art paper, I'm not too sure. Anyways, I'm not sure if there is such a thing as a figure changing color depending on your ambient temperature. Sounds a bit weird to me, but that would be quite groundbreaking if it was actually implemented on an anime figure successfully. If you tell me the wings glow in the dark, yeah, I mean Momorosa has done that, but changing color, I'm not too sure. If you know something, let me know down in the comments below. This is something totally new to me. Moving on to the next one, we have Violet Evergarden by Huiman Studio, available in 1/6 scale at $293 or 1/4 scale at $399. Yeah. This thing is going to be so massive at 1/4 scale. Like for photography reasons, I prefer 1/6 scale. 1/4 is too big. But for collection reasons, everyone loves 1/4, right? Yeah. Okay. There are so many third-party figure brands doing Violet Evergarden figures now because they figured out people want them. I like this a lot. My favorite Violet Evergarden figure is probably still the one by Hera Studio, but this one is close to being top 3 favorites. Yeah, third place I think. Admittedly, I want the props and the background more than the figure itself. That is just me, by the way. Moving on to the next one. Wow. Since when Pyra and Mitra has such big milk jugs? Yeah, maybe they went for some implants in Korea, I don't know. $188 each if you prefer your Xenoblade characters to have giant peacocks of some kind. Not my kind of thing. And the way they made the skin so glossy, implying they applied some oil on it, it makes the figure look a little bit too cheap feeling, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of that. I would prefer matte skin over oily glossy skin like this. Yeah. Go and check out the pictures yourself. I couldn't put them on screen. Moving on to the next one. Oh, for those of you furry lovers, Spirit Demon Studio Pokemon Furry Series Reshiram. $249 at 1/6 scale. Yeah, reasonable given what they're getting over here. I need to send this to one of my friends. He's going to like this. Not my kind of thing though. Okay, Spirit Demon Studio, I think I've seen a few of their Honkai style figures. They look fine, really. What is up with switching to Pokemon suddenly? Moving on to the next one, the only Honkai style figure this week, Ting Yun from LGY Studio, $200 September release. Looking good. Yeah, the face is looking good. So we just hope that the final product turns out fine, right? All I care about is the face at this point, because most other resin figure companies I've seen so far, like, they are doing an okay job, the paint work. No major QC issues like paint bleeding or stuff like that. In fact, those kind of issues are more common with genuine figures. And the last figure for today, which is also the best third-party figure, I saved the best for the last. We have Inchinose Asuna doing pole dancing by Flawless Studio, 1/6 scale at $249 or 1/4 scale at $399. Man, this figure at 1/4 scale would be so glorious. I kind of want it. September 2025 release? Yeah, this is hands down the best third-party resin figure this week. I just hope that they get her face done right, you know. Well, there are $20 Asuna figures out there from third-party, not just third-party, bootleg. There are $20 bootleg Asuna figures out there on Taobao, which has really nice faces. So I doubt that this brand would mess up the face for such an expensive resin figure. So there you have it. Figures on pre-order this week. This is an insane week indeed. How many figures are in your shopping cart or you have pre-ordered this week alone? Let me know down in the comments below. And until then, if you found this video entertaining or helpful, please give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel for anime figure content like this every week. So far this year, January to December, I have not missed a single Sunday when it comes to figure news fix. I'm actually kind of impressed at myself so far. It is not easy, seriously, to maintain the consistency. So thanks a lot once again for watching. Happy New Year in advance, and I shall see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.